I'm Audrey. I'm 14 and I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Can you talk a little bit about like how quarantine was for you, like in the beginning of it, or like when you found out that you had to stay home, or anything about that?
Yeah, like I honestly didn't believe that it was real because like they told us to pack up everything at school and like from our lockers and stuff um in like March or whatever, and I was just like I'm not going to bring stuff home, like it'll be fine. And then we were out of school for like, 6 months. And so it's just like shocking and like unbelievable and stuff, but um I like didn't take it as seriously at the beginning of quarantine. So like my family was still like going out places and stuff, but like as it went on, like we realized that it was more serious, and like we were like having exposure to people with it, and so like we took a lot more like precautions.
Did you have any closure from your 8th grade year going into high school, or was it just sort of like, bye everyone, see you or not see you ever?
Yeah, so we were supposed to have this thing called the bridge, which is like your transition from middle school to high school, but we didn't get that because of, COVID and quarantine and stuff like that. And so we kind of just like going into the high school like just figuring it out on our own and stuff. But we did have an orientation um a couple Fridays ago to like show us around the school and stuff, but we were all socially distanced and like wearing masks and stuff like that.
Is there anything that you were happy about missing when it came to school, or no?
Um, Definitely like we have this one trip called Wilderness, and so you're in Arkansas like camping for a week, and everyone dreads it, and so we didn't have to go or like train hiking and stuff like that. So I'm kind of like glad that we missed that, which was good.
In the news, there's a lot about schools not knowing if they're going to go back in person or if they're going back virtually. So, has your school gave you any plans about whether you're going to be virtual or in person?
Yeah, so we started last Thursday and we're doing the hybrid 50-50 model. So we have one day in person and one day virtual, like alternating with last names A through K going on your A day, and then um L L through Z going on B days. So you're like switching between virtual and in person.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's going to be crazy. So, you're just going to be with people who have like letters close to yours.
Yeah, but good for me and like my friends that like all of our names fall between like A, or like our last names fall from A to like D, so it's not, yeah, bad at all. We're socially distanced and our teachers are there, but like they have to wear a mask and a shield, and like we have to wear our masks obviously, but yeah.
How do you feel about that? That's going to be a long day of mask wearing.
Yeah, so we started last Thursday, and it was
Oh.
difficult like wearing the mask all day long because it's definitely hot, and I play volleyball too, and you have to wear it all through that. And so it's definitely like tedious and annoying, but I think it's like okay as long as we're staying safe and stuff. But we'll have to learn to live with it.
And what about lunch? How do you have your lunch during the day?
Your lunch is split into two groups based on what class period you have before, and so then when you go to sit down, it's 2 to 3 people to a table, and you have like a little plexiglass like shield and sitting in front of you, so you can barely even hear each other. So it's like
Wow,
you're sitting in your own little thing, but like you can read each other's mouths. So yeah.
that's crazy. That's so
hmm
crazy. How does your family feel about it? Are you guys nervous at all about getting COVID, or not really?
So my stepbrother actually had it, but
Oh wow.
and like we've all been exposed to it and stuff like that, but none of my like immediate family who lives with me like has had it or anything. And my dad like travels for work and everything, so I don't think we're that like nervous about getting it because like we've seen a lot of people recover from it, but it's definitely like always something that's scary.
How did your brother deal with having COVID? Did he have a lot of symptoms, or did he not have many symptoms?
He had symptoms and then he ended up quarantining, and he got his test and everything, and he just took his second test, and like now he's older, so like he's going back to work and stuff like that.
Well, that's good that he's better now.
Yeah.
Do you feel like I'm gonna go back to like the school topic. Do you feel like you learned better in person or online?
I would say in person is more effective for me because it's like a real test of what you know because you're not getting able to look on anything.
Is there anything about, besides having to wear masks and being like socially distanced, is there anything else that COVID is affecting your learning in any way, or does it seem like it's pretty normal?
Pretty normal, honestly. Um, like school's obviously less fun because like I do have friends in like the other group.
And then, are you guys gonna have any sort of events like prom or sporting events?
Um, yeah, right now they're still on the calendar, but I just don't know how they're gonna play out. I think with like indoor sports and like volleyball, like we'll definitely have to wear masks and things like that. But with football and stuff, I know two of your games were canceled, but I'm not sure like about the rest.
I know you play volleyball. I love
Hmm.
volleyball, so that's such a great thing.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
how is that? How's the volleyball practices working out? Is there a certain amount of people that go each practice, and do you have to like social distance while you're playing?
So we're not socially distanced while we're playing. It's just masks, and then after every drill, you you hand sanitize. Sorry. At the end, we spray and wipe down all the balls, so they're like clean every day.
When you're wearing masks during volleyball, is that affecting your playing, do you think? Or like I
Um,
think that would feel uncomfortable, like if you're like
no, yeah,
tired.
it's definitely affected me because like we like we're moving around a lot just because like that's how our coaches are and stuff, and so you'll get tired and like when you want to breathe regularly it's like you're sucking in your masks, and so it's just like a nuisance, but um I'll tolerate it because it's my favorite sport, so it's like I want to be able to do it.
Here in Mass, I mean, I see a lot of different license plates going through. Do you see a lot of people traveling to Texas or traveling out of Texas, or have you traveled out of state, in a state? Just how's traveling looking there?
Yeah, so I actually was in Santa Fe, New Mexico, like a few weekends ago, and like the airports are definitely less crowded, and the flight that I was on, we were socially distanced and everything.
When you went to Santa Fe, was that for like a vacation or?
My family owns like a house there, so we were just like hanging out there, like secluded basically from people. So, um, yeah, but walking around like shopping like strips there and things like that. People aren't close or anything. Like everyone's wearing their masks, like even outside.
Now that you're back in Texas, does it seem like everyone's following the guidelines for wearing masks and socially distancing, or does it seem like people are starting to maybe settle down and not follow as many precautions as before?
Um, well, like whenever I'm in stores and stuff, there's definitely like ignorant like people who just don't think that wearing a mask is like necessary and stuff. Um, because it's not affecting them. But so I've definitely seen people loosen up about it, but my family can like see how serious it is. For my family and friends at least, like we're super precautious, and like at school everyone's like following directions well. So
That's good. That's really good. Was there anything that you did to pass your time during the summer, or just things that you did to keep busy?
just like I don't know, like I still like went out with friends and stuff. Like I'm not gonna lie and say that I didn't, but
Mm-hmm.
I'd say just like hanging out with my sister and stuff because she's home from college, and I worked for my dad this summer.
I don't know. For me, I've seen like a lot of people's different perspectives, and so everyone has a different view on this. But have you been feeling more connected to your friends or the world, or have you been feeling a lot disconnected from things?
I'd say more connected just because like we realized that we realized whenever we were like taken away from each other in like March and like earlier in the year during like the beginning of quarantine, like we realized how difficult that like time apart from each other was. So now that like we have the chance to be back together, it's like we cherish that time a lot more.
For generations to come who maybe didn't live through the that you'd want them to know about how you experienced this, or just something in general?
That like, yeah, it's gonna be hard to, be away from people for a little bit, but it's like what's best to keep everyone safe and to get back to normal as soon as possible. So, like, yeah, it's gonna be difficult in the beginning, but it's all for a good purpose in the long run.
Awesome. That was great. So, I mean, do you have anything else that you would like to say?
No, that's
That was
I'm
great.
good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.